Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So I was watching Alexander the Great, watch documentary after documentary after documentary, and it's almost like I pretty much know this guy. Absolutely love everything that he managed to achieve from a military standpoint. And like most of us, we are people that are doing well in our companies, doing career-wise, businesses. We're doing well, and we've managed to establish good relationships, because you can imagine, what did he have to do in order to become the great Alexander the Great that we know of, the one that managed to take over Persia? And if you think of the Persian rule, and this is where how far they ruled, the span of Tajikistan, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, all these places. This is how far they ruled. I mean, they ruled all the way close to Egypt as well. So you think how massive of a place that was. Turkey, all these Arab places, and they managed to be able to rule that place. And then you get this one kid, and by the way, he was a kid. He was, by the time he got into power, he was only 20 years old when he got into power. And by the time he started fighting the Persians, he was 23 when he took over the Persian rule. So you think about it, then within 3 years, he managed to accomplish a lot. And a lot of you guys within your careers, you're managing to accomplish so much. But when you dig deeper into his love life and him as a dad, as a husband, you could see there was a lot of failings. And one of the biggest failures, when you now look at the story in overall, is that when Alexander died, he died with his military prowess. He had no legacy afterwards. In fact, when he died, the people that were generals amongst they started having infighting. They ended up splitting up Persia into different parts. And then in the end, it pretty much faded. There's still ruins of the cities that he established, where he named them under his name. But from that standpoint, you can see that there was no legacy that was carried over from all of that power, that he cultivated amongst his troops, where he had to consolidate his power by having good relationships with people, and then also having the prowess to be able to take over different countries, and then be diplomatic in being able to take over them and take rule and have them as subjects as well. So you think he had so many skills from a professional standpoint, but those skills did not translate to his family life. And you think it's a common theme amongst history, where you see these really, really, really great people. Like, for example, look at Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Roman generals. He had the same thing, where he's managed to achieve so much as a Roman emperor, but when it came to his child then went and fucked it up. So again, this is a common theme. And I'm speaking about this because a lot of you guys are doing well, and you find yourself doing well within your businesses, within your employment, within your careers, and you're just failing to translate all of that power, all of that success, all of those beautiful traits that you have, which are, leadership, good communication, being able to have strategic thinking, being able to be resilient. All of those things, you're failing to then put them across to your relationship. Because again, when you see Alexander the Great, he had multiple wives, multiple children, and by the time he died, they all got killed, and his legacy was stopped from there. And it's very telling when it comes to being in a sexless relationship, that when you guys are being successful outside of the house and failing inside the house, again, you can see that there was a bit of the fact that he was ambitious, so ambitious to the point that he neglected consolidation and didn't even think about long term, like, if I die, who's going to be my successor, and I need to be training my successor. And this is a very important piece, that when you are thinking about changing a sexless relationship, this is the mission, that you might have ambitions to have a really good relationship within your lifetime, but at the same time, those ambitions should be also matched with how much you can leave a legacy for your children. So, because when it comes to changing a sexless relationship, one of the things is that there's just one main focus, which is I want to have more sex. But if you shift the focus, at least continue having that ambition of having more sex within a relationship, but also want to give good relationship skills to your children. So, for example, one of the things that changed my life and changed our relationship was the focus of modeling a good relationship for my children and what that looks like. So the way we interact, when we start interacting with respect, then sex will come along as a byproduct. When we start communicating as, being able to have arguments, and when I say arguments, have disagreements, and be okay to have disagreements. Again, it was a very good thing for our children to notice that we can have disagreements and still maintain respect amongst ourselves. And again, this is a very important piece, because most people, when they think about changing a sexless relationship, they think about, maybe I need to do more romantic things. I need to do more dishes. I need to do more all of that. But sometimes it's just consolidating the respect within your household and really trying to do more in terms of what is the legacy that you leave within, in terms from a relationship standpoint. When we think from that perspective, it starts changing everything, and sex becomes a byproduct of something else that is happening that is very important in terms of continuing on. Because for me, success wouldn't be, success would be for me to be like Alexander the Great, and then be able to reignite all men all around the world and make marriages cool again. Now, that would be me. That's my Persian that I need to destroy. But at the same time, I would like to be able to consolidate that by having left a legacy that from now on, from my children to my great-grandchildren, they know how to have good relationships and be able to have successful relationships. And for me, that will be the most impact that I can do within my lifetime. So I just thought I'll give you that. That's a thought that I've been having, and something that I've been teaching within Reignited Men, which again, I hope some of you guys can take on board and think, this is how I might be able to look at to change, how am I look and how to change a sexless relationship. Because when you look at it from that perspective, it changes everything, and it changes the way you behave. It changes the way you approach the day. And again, for me, I look at it from day by day, and how effective am I as a leader day by day. And when I do so over a span of a week, months, and as I look back, I can look with great pride and with great success, especially from the household perspective. And that's how I'm beginning to measure my life. And it doesn't matter what other achievements I make outside, whether Reignited Men becomes the ultimate success and can get remembered in history books. But if I can get remembered in history books, there's no value in that without actually leaving a legacy for my own family, which is a very important piece. And again, I'm not trying to downplay what Alexander the Great did. I mean, still my new hero right now. I'm absolutely obsessed with everything that I've been learning about this guy. So he's absolutely incredible, especially for his military prowess and how he was tactical and how he was strategic in his thinking. Absolutely incredible human being. So I thought that is quite inspirational for you guys for a Monday. Hopefully it finds you in a good stead. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.